Over on this side right here is a 2- or 3-man lodge, which has been erected, but it's never really been used. And you can see that in the style here. I've been in a Crow lodge in Montana doing ceremony, and this is very similar to the Crow lodge. Ooh, there's a bunny in the lodge. Wow. Is that a sign or what? See him there? He was in the lodge. Hey, Bun. What's shaking, buddy? He's been here for the entire time that I smudged the entire lodge. I smudged the entire area out, including around this lodge, before I did anything. So he must have been in here the entire time. He's inside the sacred space and has been inside sacred space since I smudged and throughout me calling the spirits. He's been in the lodge. And he jumps back in the lodge. So what I was trying to say is that this lodge has never really been used, and I had a dream a few days ago about me being in this lodge and using it in ceremony. It's a challenge for us right now doing ceremony because of social distancing. It's really hard to social distance inside a sweat lodge with a bunch of other people. And this lodge over here holds about 20 people. This lodge here holds 2 or 3, and even 1. And he's in there. He's eating whatever that leaf is. So just inside the door of the lodge right here is the rock pit right there, which is what makes it different from the big lodge and the Lakota and Blackfoot lodges that I'm used to. In this way, it's like the Crow lodge that I was in. That Crow lodge was smaller than the usual lodges, but it wasn't this small. I'd say we had 6 or 8 people in that lodge. But this is the way it operated. The fire tender would bring rocks in and just slip them right inside the door there. Everybody else could stay inside the lodge. So I'm toying with the idea of how to use this lodge. The owner of the lodge, my teacher, my elder, he sent me a text a couple of days saying that he was thinking about how we could do this. So he's thinking about it too. And I'm still not sure how we're going to work this out. Whether one way that we could do it, see, for both of us to do ceremony in this lodge, that puts him at risk as an 80-year-old elder, which is very high risk for this virus. If I were to happen to be a carrier, which I don't think I am, but if I were an asymptomatic carrier, then that would be high risk for him to be in this small lodge with me. But in my dream, I wasn't in the lodge with him. I was in the lodge by myself. And if I was in the lodge myself, then I could be possibly fire tending myself. See, the fire pit is right here, and you put the rocks in over there, you heat them up, and then you put them on a pitchfork and you bring them over here and you put them inside the lodge when you do ceremony. And now a fire tender could do that for you if you were inside the lodge, or if you didn't have a fire tender, if it was just you all by yourself. In the old days, the Lakotas would make small lodges like this, and the medicine men would actually do ceremony for themselves, with themselves, all by themselves. They would fire tend themselves. So that's an alternative too that I'm looking at. The this fact that we're being visited by this bunny inside the lodge here is unprecedented for me. And I'm actually in ceremony. I'm actually in a pipe ceremony at the moment because I've called in spirits. I've loaded the pipe, and I hadn't even really begun to pray per se. I just decided that I wanted to document what the situation looked like. I mean, it's such an amazing thing going on here. I'm blown away by it. And that's why I went over and grabbed the camera. I was like, I gotta document this before I could finish, praying. Then I walk over here, and there's a rabbit inside the lodge. And I have to interpret this, that this is spirit talking to me right now, because we're in sacred space. I'm all by myself. This is the point of a vision quest, is you're just asking for something like this. You're crying. What Henblecheya means is crying for a vision. And this is more of a vision than I've experienced on my previous two Henblecheyas. I had an experience kind of like this with a grasshopper on the fourth day, or third day of my Sichangu Henblecheya, but nothing like this. This is very symbolic. This is very typical of spirit talking through symbols. The symbol of the Holy Sweat Lodge, the Inipi, and the symbol of the rabbit. The rabbit is going to involve sichung, which is medicine, and so we're talking about whatever rabbit medicine is, and spirit is talking to me now about rabbit medicine. I think what it's trying to tell me is the importance to me of gentleness, because to me that's what rabbit is about. This is what this little guy looks like to me. He's very gentle, and he's very trusting. It's hard to win his trust, but once you do, I'm afraid to move because he's got his eye on me. I feel like I want to kneel down or sit down on the ground and just sit here with my rabbit friend for a while. But I'm afraid if I move, I might scare him off. But he did leave. He went out of the lodge, and then he came back in again. And that's kind of like what my grasshopper friend did. He jumped into my Henblecheya enclosure, and then he was there with me, and then that's sort of a long story, but long story longer, he climbed up on my hand, and I thought he was going to talk to me, and instead he started to eat my finger. And I threw him down on the ground inside the enclosure. Then he left the enclosure, but then he came back in the enclosure again. So here comes Ron. So it's getting later now. The bunny is still here with me. He's on the other side of the lodge now. See him? He's over on the other side. On the outside. And he's eating. He's eating stuff. He's right through there. right over there. Really hard to see though. Invisible. Where's he at? There he is. So well camouflaged, you can't even hardly see him. Right through there. Making relations with my bun pal on the first night of my Henblecheya. I don't want to scare him away because I want him to hang out. Day 2. This is Thursday. It's judging by the height of the sun, probably around noon, I'm guessing, because this is due south here and the sun is directly above south. It is daylight savings time, so that would be like 11, but it's a really nice day. It's not raining at all. And the blessings and lessons continue. I spent a lot of the night up last night trying to keep the fire going and sitting by the fire, introspecting, genuflecting, meditating on my navel. There are a couple of themes that are rising this morning and that also started last night. I have a belt that I've been wearing for about 50 years, 45 at least. It was given to me by my grandmother. And it has an Indian motif. It has a buffalo skull on it. Buffalo skull belt buckle. It's my connection to my grandmother. Last night, for the first time in 45 to 50 years, the belt buckle came off the belt. Yeah, it's easy in these times, this altered space, to look at signs, and I immediately took that as a sign. That's my grandmother speaking to me. Today I got up and one of the first things I noticed is that this is my necklace that I wear all the time, and the necklace, except when I go in lodge or do ceremony, and the necklace had my grandfather's dog tag on it from World War I. And I was just looking at that yesterday, and really looking at it in a close way, because that's the connection to my grandfather. Now that's on my mother's side. The belt buckle grandmother is on my father's side. The dog tag is missing today. So sometime last night I lost it. It can't have gone very far. It's right here somewhere. It's in a sleeping bag. I slept last night in the lodge over here, which was pretty intense. But it's probably in there somewhere. But this is one of the challenges and the themes of this particular Henblecheya that I'm finding. They caution us to be gentle with ourselves during Henblecheya and Sundance, and this is a sign of that. I'm having to look at my ancestors in a different way from the way I'm accustomed, and I have not been giving them the due credit that they have in it, for who I am. They birthed me. I carry their DNA, but also during those very developmental years, they took care of me and loved me and supported me, and now they're gone, and I have to live up to their investment and their hopes for me. They were simple people, mostly. Not very spiritual, as far as I know. There's not a lot that I know. I don't know my grandfather. I don't know my grandfather on the other side either. Never met them. Only have heard about them. His grandfather from World War I, he sounds a lot like me. He eloped with his girlfriend, who was my grandmother, against the wishes of my great-grandmother. So I'm feeling some pain. I'm starting to feel some pain here on the second day. And I haven't eaten anything. I haven't had anything to drink. I'm just enjoying the sun, basking in the sun, and I'm so grateful for my blessings, the fact that I have this space to do this in, and the supportive teacher who will let me do this, and all the various teachers that I have that are supporting me in doing this work. There's a lot of people praying for me right now. Very powerful people all over the world. As I prayed earlier, called in the spirits with the Calling Spirit song, and so they're with me here now, and I might add that my rabbit pal is back over here this morning. I was very happy to see that. So that's sort of my mascot, seems like, this rabbit that's hanging out with me in my Henblecheya. And let's go take a look at him. Okay. So there's this smaller two-man lodge over here, about which I'm going to be praying. It's part of my prayers, is because I want to be using this for good. I want to be using this lodge to heal with as a tool. The rabbit mascot is in here. Was the last time I looked. Is he here? He's so well camouflaged that you often can't see him until he moves. And he doesn't move until you get like right up on him. Well, I don't see him. Where's the rabbit? There he is. He was there. Okay. Alright. We'll leave him alone. Don't want to scare him. So he gets a little alarmed. But he's been tolerating me pretty well. So, there he is over there. So on that note, we'll home talk with us. Okay, so it's day 2 and it's getting to be afternoon. Sun's starting to drop down a little bit. The rabbit Bun continues to be my pal over here. He apparently loves it inside that lodge. That's where he hangs out. He's in there eating. Let's see if we can look through the door at him here. See him in there? Now this is the way that spirit speaks during ceremonies. This little guy is not a coincidence. He's been hanging around now for 2 days with me. He shows little fear. I'm gonna get down here. I'm not getting ready to pounce on you. I'm just trying to be your friend. You know? If you have something to tell me, tell me. Because that's what we're doing. This is Henblecheya. Lakota word for crying for a vision. I've been crying for a vision. I've been drumming. I've been singing. I've been looking for a vision. And one of those visions is when the spirit animal comes to visit. And that's what you're doing right now, pal. And I would like to know what it is you have to say to me. Well, that was just an update. We'll continue to update you as the evening goes on and the days go on. We still have 2 more days after this. 3 nights to go through. So this is the most miraculous thing about it so far. This is a miraculous thing. It's different from the rest of the teachings that I'm getting downloaded, which are painful. This is joyful. So it's Friday morning. It's a beautiful day, and you can see our pal over there under the tarp. It's the rabbit spirit. He's in my space now for the 3rd day. what he needs to teach me. I learned last night that the Hopi savior, according to their myth, was named Masa, and Masa came to Earth clothed in a black rabbit fur coat. I'm not sure what that means yet. But here he is. He's out, coming out as I'm coming out. Slept in the lodge last night, not very well. But I just came out. And look who's here. See that white spot on his forehead there? That's his third eye. Third eye bunny. He's woke. He's woke as fuck. I left some carrots that I found in the compost, and inside the empty lodge there. We'll see whether he finds those. Takes my offering to the spirits. There's a Lakota practice where when you have a meal, you take a bit of the meal and you put it on its own plate, and then you put that plate outside. It's called the spirit plate. You give thanks to Creator for that meal, for that food, and then you put the plate out for the spirits. And these carrots are my offering to the spirit bunny. We'll see. Let's give him a little bit of time to go over there. I'll give him some space. So, this is day 3, which has finished my second night. And it's a beautiful day, as you can see. Birds are chirping. It's a pretty clear sky. Looks like I'm going to have a good day. I was thinking about working on my pipe. I'm working on a second pipe, and I think I'll be working on that today. I did prayer ties, which you can see are all around the outside of this lodge. And I did that yesterday. It took all day to do those. And today I think I'm going to take it up by working on the pipe and doing prayer and whatnot. Had a tough night because this is not all fun and games. There's moments of beauty and joy like this one as he hops toward me, but there are moments of pain. As we work through our what Carl Jung called our shadow, doing our shadow work. That is what these fasts and these Henblecheyas are about, these vision quests. They can be very painful because it brings up old stuff. It brings up trauma. It brings up things that trigger you, things that are not healed. And so I'm dealing with some of that right now. Some of it's ancestral. Some of it is old family stuff. It can be all kinds of things. It can be like people bullying you in elementary school, junior high, things like that. And then, you know, of course, our own transgressions that we're ashamed of, that we hide down in our subconscious, and we try to convince ourselves that we're a good person when we've all done bad things in our life, things that we're not proud of. But that's why these ways are so important, because we can work through these things, we can heal them, we can be forgiven of them, and, you know, in a way that I've not found works in other ways. The Catholic confessional comes to mind, but that never worked for me. I never even tried that. In the Protestant way, I can't even think of it ever being talked of. I never talked about it, you know, in the Protestant ways. So this is different for me, and it's the only thing that's really resonated with me. I don't know why it's resonated with me. A friend tells me that she thinks it's because I was a Lakota in a previous life, as she was. She's a quarter Lakota now, but I think, or eighth. I guess she's an eighth. But it certainly does resonate with me, and it's not just plain Indian. It's not about playing Indian. It's about doing the work so that you can become a better person, so that the world can be a better place, so that we can heal the world, and so that people can be forgiven, so that we can forgive and be forgiven. Otherwise, how can you be healed? There's so much pain and anguish in the world. But these ways can heal that. And so I'm hoping to do my own small part with this fast, and suffer in this way for the people and for the world, and do my prayers for the people and for the world. Here we are. It's the 4th day. Still have a 4th night to go through, but I've got through the 3rd night. I'm feeling pretty weak right now. And you see the invisible rabbit spirit is still here with me. He's eating grass, even though I gave him carrots. But he's still here. So over here, we've got the fire going, and that's my gift this morning from my elder teacher supporter. It appears to be some kind of soup. I'm going to sage the entire space out again. I'm going to start in the west, because in the Lakota ways we always do everything starting in the west. I don't think I've explained why that is yet, but we'll do that soon. So that was the west. I'm moving into the north now, moving clockwise, or sunwise as they call it. That's a nice big comfrey growing right here. Now we're in the north, And when I come around to the east here, my spirit rabbit is inside this lodge right here. I don't want to spook him. See, he's right there. He's about 3 feet from me. Totally still so that he thinks that I don't know he's there. And then we're smugging the perimeter of the space. Okay. Day 4 has come to an end. Day 4. The fourth night is over. I got through the night. It was kind of cold and rainy and wet, but I got through it. And it's now the next morning, and I've just smoked the pipe, prayed, and the ceremony is at an end. I'm cleaning up the space, packing up my stuff, and just one small item here is that the spirit rabbit is back again for the 5th day. He's right here, right there, inside the lodge, right there. And he is a gift from Spirit. The spirit rabbit is a gift from Spirit. See how close he is? I'm probably 2 feet from him. A little white spot above his head, on his forehead, which is his third eye. So yeah, I thought maybe I'd reach down and try to pet him before I leave. We'll see whether I do that, but I still have some work to do. I have to leave the space cleaner than I found it. It's always been my policy, and that's what I will do here. I am so thankful to Spirit for the opportunity to do ceremony in this way, to give of myself in this way for the people and for Uchimaka. Aho, mtakuyas.